ahead and hit record now before we start. Did everyone have a good St. Patrick's Day weekend?
Yes.
Let's see, I had a couple chats came in here. Felice, who helps us set up our WebEx sessions, says she's got no life. This is what it's like with little kids. I baked myself some soda bread, some Irish soda bread from a mix, and I gotta say, it had been years since I had soda bread, and it is a lot more bland than I remembered. And just for those of you who are coming on the line now, just be aware I have this set up so that it mutes everyone upon entry just to avoid some background noise. However, feel free to unmute yourself at any point during the presentation to ask questions.
Elizabeth, are you doing a poll today?
I'm not. No, I'm not doing that this time. We're just going to take some responses in the chat box.
Okay, then you're good then. Everything, the captioning is loaded, your slides, so everything is good to go.
Great. Thanks so much. All right, folks. Welcome to the March GMR update. I want to welcome you all on board. It's great to see that we have so many people on the line today. Just want to let everyone know that we do record our GMR update sessions, and this recording will be captioned and it will be uploaded to the YouTube page. So if you want to relive this or remind yourself of some information, or even better, if you want to share this with some colleagues, you can do that. Once it's available on the YouTube page, we will send out a link that goes out to the listserv. And just sign yourself up, and you'll be good to go. Just a couple of reminders. As always, if you have questions for us, you can submit them in advance using our web form. This web form is located on the GMR website. We've got a website for our GMR updates, and you'll see a link to it there. So just let us know if you have any questions. Just one more time, guys, everyone's muted upon entry, but if you have a question, you can toggle yourself off of the mute. What you need to look for is that microphone icon to the right of your name in the participants list, and you can just click that to unmute yourself. Also, if you called in today, if you joined us on the phone, to unmute your phone, it's generally *6. So just be aware of that. *6 should unmute you, and then *6 will mute you again. So just keep that in mind. As we go along here, I will reach out to you for questions and comments, so feel free to participate in our updates. So I just have a few announcements for everyone. We did not get the digest out the other week. We had a power outage in town, so some of this might be new information. You may have seen this if you follow the National Library of Medicine on Twitter, that Medline Plus just launched its 1,000th health topic page. So there are now, probably by now, over 1,000 topics in Medline Plus available. I wanted to share a little bit of information going on about a new lecture program called the NLM Michael E. DeBakey Lecture. This is actually going on tomorrow, beginning at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. At the NLM Lister Hall Auditorium on the NIH campus. But for those of us who, of course, live in the greater Midwest and can't necessarily be there in person, this will be simultaneously webcast by NIH Videocasting and archived for viewing after the fact. So there are a couple of speakers, two topics going on. Dr. Shelley McKellar is going to be presenting Intentional Impact, the Legacy of Michael DeBakey. And Dr. George Noon is going to be presenting a brief look at Michael E. DeBakey's role in establishing the NLM as it is today. A little information about Michael DeBakey. He was a legendary American surgeon, an educator, a medical statesman, and one of the most stalwart supporters of the National Library of Medicine. So if you're interested, tune in tomorrow or watch the archived recording later on. I also wanted to share that I saw this in the NLM announcements online, that the Open Science Prize winner has been announced. And this is fascinating. If you have time, I encourage you to check this out. The grand prize winner is a team that developed a real-time visual tracking tool that tracks the spread of global pathogens such as Zika and Ebola. This is a prototype, and then you've got a screenshot, that's what you see in my image here. And the team will receive $230,000 to fully develop this tool. So if you're interested and you want to take a peek at this, it's at nexttrain.org. And I wanted to share this because I thought it was rather fabulous. Also, would you know that the GMR has been around here at the University of Iowa for almost a year now? So I wanted to share that we'll be adding our annual report onto our website in early May. As you know, our fiscal year here is from May to May. So at the end of April, we'll be putting this together and putting it up on our website, along with some of the infographics we've created, which you see here. So we've got some highlights, and these will be shared in those documents, such as the number of staff we recruited. We recruited 6 employees here and constructed a new space. Over the past year to date, we have recruited 22 new member organizations to the network. We've established some advisory groups, developed an assessment tool. We've gotten some awards developed. We have over $80,000 in funding distributed to the region for outreach and education. Our staff here have sponsored over 24 hours of continuing education, developed new partnerships, established a program to sponsor consumer health information and specialization, and we have spearheaded a collaborative webinar series with other regional medical libraries. So you can read about some of the work we've done this first year and see some documents available coming in early March. So we'll send you some more information via the GMR listserv. This is a stock photo. This is not any of our staff as a child, shared with permission. So that cake looks pretty good. I wanted to share some information about the medically underserved areas assessment tool that we've developed here in the GMR. So throughout the months at our GMR updates, I've been telling you guys this tool's coming, this tool's coming. We did launch this tool. It was available on our website on March 1st, released at the same time as our awards for year 2. Our coordinator in our office, Darlene Caskey's been working really hard on this project, and I wanted to offer a live demonstration at our GMR update today so that all of you can take a look and have a chance to ask some questions. So Darlene and I have both been kind of messing around with WebEx, so let's hope we do this correctly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer the presenter here to Darlene. So Darlene, I am changing your role to that as of a presenter, and you should get a little pop-up on your screen here. It takes a minute.
There I go. Hi.
Hi, Darlene.
Can you hear me? Good.
I can hear you.
Okay, now I'll try to share my screen with you. Make sure I'm looking at the right screen.
Oh, it looks like it. Yep, there it is. Beautiful.
See it. Good. Well, thank you. As Liz mentioned, we've been hard at work on this project, and it launched on March 1st for the second year award period, and we announced it on the GMR listserv that week. So hopefully many of you have had a chance to look at it. It has a long URL, so the easiest way to get to our project is just from our homepage, the GMR homepage, which you see here, and you click on the Underserved Health Communities project, and it brings you to the software. This project was created using ArcGIS software, so it's an interactive map. We solicited a geospecialist at the university who helped me design this beautiful colored map that you see here, and there is a reason for all those colors. We looked at all the counties based on the County Health Rankings and Roadmaps. This is a project by Robert Wood Johnson Foundation and the University of Wisconsin Population Health Institute. Annually, they look at all the counties in the United States and rank them according to who they think has the best or the worst health factors and behaviors. So in this case, the darkest shades are the ones that need the most help. They're the most underserved population groups. And the reason we developed this project is threefold. We want our members, we want you to know about factors and behaviors that contribute to a community's underserved health status. What makes them marginalized? What makes them vulnerable? Second, we want you to learn and discover some new resources and health data that as part of this project, you get to learn what we used in order to create our stories. And finally, most important, we want you to think about, give you this opportunity to become creative and think about how you could apply for an Education and Outreach Award to increase health literacy, which is our mission, in any one of these underserved health areas. It doesn't necessarily have to be just the ones that we created stories for, but any of those that are in really the dark blue shade. For this project, in order for us to get this up and going, we only had time to create 20 stories. We chose 2 of the counties in each state, and we picked the worst 2. I hate to call it that, but these were the ones that were ranked with the highest needs. So to take an example, let's look at this. First of all, you can click on any county you see here, and you'll get some basic information. This one in Wisconsin, you can see here that the health factor ranking is 23 out of 72. So it's, because of its shade color, you can tell it's not one. It's a better county than others in terms of health rankings. But you can actually link on the county health rankings and see a snapshot. This takes you directly to the county health rankings and roadmaps. So you can do that for any of these counties. It can also gives you the basic information of the total population. You can link on the American Fact Finder by the U.S. Census Bureau and get more information. We also created a chart so you can just get a quick look at the ethnicity of the county. And here you see it's predominantly white, 93.5%. But to look at our stories, click on any one of the red outlined counties. Let's look at Clearwater County in Minnesota. This pops up. Click on the county story. It takes you to its website. And how we've organized the stories are by using the tabs that you see at the top. We start out by looking at the geography of the location where the county is, some basic facts. Any information, if you want to learn more, you just click on this link. It will take you to another website. Most of the information is from a Community Commons or Creative Commons licensing. So this picture, we're free to use because it's part of Creative Commons.
That's beautiful. That's my home state of Minnesota.
It is pretty, and this is at the headwaters are here, right? This is where.
Is it the headwaters in Itasca? Oh, there it is. That's great.
Yep, there's a little signage. And the other tab is population. Again, we pick up on the chart. We talk about the population groups. How has it been growing, or has it been growing? In this case, the county grew less than 1% from the 2010 census. The data I retrieved is the most recent data available at this time of creating the project, which was 2015 estimates. Talks about what I learned about this county is that we have 2 tribal communities in this county. Then we talk about the economy. And again, I went out and did some research. Here is the Red Lake Nation. This is the governing tribal council. And whenever possible, I would try to embed real stories, news articles. In this case, I found a PBS video that talks about casinos and secondhand smoke. Casinos are prominent in Indian reservation communities. So if you want to learn a little bit about that, you click on this, brings it up. Closed captioning also.
Oh, that's great.
It should. There it is. Now we'll stop that. Anytime I could find articles, you link directly. Here's something to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Again, it talks about secondhand smoke in casinos. So I try to give you some original material to learn. Education. This is also where we put in some interactive maps. We want to tell you about the community's schools, whether they have a post-secondary education option. Here they have the Red Lake Nation College. You can link on that, go directly to their website to learn more. We want to show you the public school districts. So here we have brought in data from the Common Core of Data National Center for Education Statistics. And the most recent information we could retrieve from them is 2014-2015. Link on any one of these little schoolhouses pulls up information about the school. And predominantly what I want our members to know is to look at how many students are enrolled in the free or reduced meal program, which is a federally funded meal program. And that can tell you, that's an indicator of poverty level generally for a school district or a community. The next tab is health, which is what we're all about. This I try to present some information looking at the county health rankings and roadmaps and pull out what they say are their greatest needs for that county. We also try to identify what are the federally qualified clinics in that area, for they are the ones that provide subsidy health care. We pulled in that data from HRSA, which has all the federally qualified clinics. Pull that data in, and so if you click on one of these little images, you'll pull up the healthcare. It tells you what type it is. In this case that I'm looking at, it's the intermediate care facilities for mental health. One thing we added that's value added that you wouldn't get on HRSA is the additional website. So I added websites to these healthcare. So if you go directly to the URL page to learn more.
Folks, this is a great way to locate some partners for outreach and education. So if you're thinking about doing some outreach and you're applying for one of our awards, you're not really sure who to partner with, this makes this a fantastic tool to locate some of these community health agencies.
Exactly. That is the purpose for much of this. And if you go on into resources, sometimes there'll be some additional information. And I try to always list the county public health department, for the reason that Liz mentions, a good source for finding partners to work with. And whenever possible, I try to pull up the community health needs assessment. Not sure if I have one for this county, but that is a good resource. You'll find it either here under health or under resources. Usually the public health department or the community hospital system. To comply with the Affordable Care Act, they have to, every 3 to 5 years, put together a community health assessment. Look at the community, decide what is needed, and put together a plan. And that is very important because our projects, we can tie into what they're working on, what they think the goals and the initiatives are. And that's a good way to get our foot in the door with the county.
Absolutely, and another good use of this data, as you'll see in our award applications, we ask you, when planning an award, when planning an outreach, let us know what sort of assessments that you've used to justify the need for this project in this area. So like Darlene mentioned, if there are community needs assessment data available, this is a great thing to pull from.
Right. So that is it. I'm coming back to the home page. You can get more information. This tells you a little bit why we, as I've described, about the project. This tells you more about the county health rankings and roadmaps. This is the model that they use to determine it, and I followed their model to tell our stories. Some definitions of what is a medically underserved area. How do they come about this? This is where I get the information from HRSA. And then, of course, we hope that you'll want to help, and we get you right into here to learn more about resources that we use for this project, or resources that are relevant to underserved health communities. And you go directly in. We can embed and go directly to some of these websites. RHI Hub, if you're not familiar with that, this is an excellent website, clearinghouse of rural health information. And it's very important, do I have the survey? Your feedback. This is a brand new project. I threw it together, but I would really love to get some input. If you see a typo or you see something that's not working, please let us know, but also just let us know of what you think is relevant and how you think you might use this website. That's all I have.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Darlene. That was fantastic. I want to just pause, too, and see if we have any questions from those of us who are joining us live at this broadcast. And again, if you're on the phone, you can hit *6 to unmute. And if you called in using your computer, go ahead and toggle using the microphone icon left to the right of your name. Does anyone have any questions about this assessment tool? Okay, just one moment. I'm going to take a look at the chat box as well here. Don had a question. Hi, Don. Don asks, will you be adding to the featured county option as time goes by? I'm sure that is a lot of work to gather the story for so many counties. Absolutely. Darlene's been working hard on this project. Right now, we would like to see how this tool is being used, and so we're really looking for your feedback. We'd like to understand how our members are using this to target outreach and education to those counties. And our plan has been to continue to enhance this by adding more stories, or kind of how you described it, Dawn, featured counties within our region. We settled on the top two, or I struggle with this too, Darlene, with the two most underserved counties in each state because that's what we had the personnel time for. So we'd like to continue to add more, but we'd like to get a little bit of feedback first. That's right, Don. Yep, we started with the most underserved counties, and then we would work out from there. So, and originally, this was funny, originally we thought, oh, we'll do the 5 most underserved counties. But as you can imagine, it does take a lot of work to gather together all of this data. And so we settled on 2, and then we're just going to take a pause and get some feedback from folks. Are there questions from anyone else out there? All right. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and pick up where we left off. I just had a couple of comments. We do have a webinar coming up about community health mapping, and I wanted to share this at this point because it's related. The National Library of Medicine has a group that has developed community health mapping tools, and their focus is really on affordable, low-cost tools. So we developed this project using a product called Esri, the software product, and we used that to create our interactive map. That is not affordable for a lot of small hospital libraries, for a lot of small community agencies. So the Community Health Mapping Group at the National Library of Medicine basically collects all of these low-cost mapping tools and teaches people how to use them. So that webinar is coming up on May 10th, and you'll see information for that on the NNLM Resource Picks webinar series on our website. As we mentioned a couple of times during this demonstration, our awards are going to be tied to medically underserved areas. So when you talk about your audience, you'll see that additional points are allocated to those projects that engage with medically underserved areas. So just keep that in mind when you're developing proposals or applications for awards this year. As always, I like to promote our educational offerings coming up. We do have a couple classes that filled up, so I didn't promote them here because I don't want you to feel frustrated when you go out to register. But these are the classes coming up the rest of this month. Now, you are probably already signed up to partner with us, Health Sciences Libraries. That's a class that I am presenting tomorrow, and it's all about applying for our awards. So we'll talk about the awards. I'll go through each one. We'll talk about the application process, and I will be there to answer your questions. Now, if you can't make it to this class, never fear. I will be recording it. It will be closed captioned. It will be uploaded onto the NNLM YouTube channel, and I'll be linking it onto the website. So you'll be able to attend after the fact. We also have PubMed for Librarians. As you know, that's an ongoing series presented by our expert instructors at the National Training Center. They are presenting a MESH class on the 22nd. And from our own coordinator, Derek Johnson, From problem to prevention, evidence-based public health. I'll give you the description of Derek's class. Curious about evidence-based public health? What does the term mean and how is it implemented? Join us for a 1-hour webinar as we dissect evidence-based public health and learn about resources that can be used to find research and tools to support evidence-based public health. This is Derek's first class being taught at our office, so I encourage you to attend, and you can register for this on our website. Also, at the end of the week here, we're offering a second session, Partner with Us When You're Not a Health Sciences Library. This session is also going over our awards and application process, but it's intended for those community agencies, public libraries, those folks who are not health sciences libraries in our community, talking them through the process of applying for the awards. This is based on feedback that we received from our members last year, splitting this up so we've got a class for both populations. That will also be recorded, and you can watch that after the fact as well. This class, Augmented Reality, I'm planning to attend because it's fascinating. This is Augmented Reality, Virtual Reality, and Health. That's a live webinar. We have another PubMed for Librarians course on automatic term mapping coming up on the 29th. If you are interested in the PubMed for Librarians series, I want to encourage you to register early because these fill up. So I want to keep it on top of this and keep advertising this to our GMR members. And finally, at the end of the month here, we have a class on how to make the most of your National Library of Medicine traveling banner exhibit. So for those of you who have hosted an NLM exhibit at your institution before, you understand what goes into promoting it, doing wraparound discussions, making materials available for that exhibit. And for those of you who might have never done something like this and are interested, this is a great opportunity to learn more. That's also a 1-hour online webinar. So if you haven't registered for these classes yet, you'll see the URL at the bottom of the page here. Go ahead and pop online. You'll see our training schedule. All of these classes are free, open to you to register for. I know that we've got a new website. As of December, there's a new registration form in there. Most of you registered for this class, so you know how that works. You create a free account, and then you can register for your class. Does anyone have any questions about our classes while I'm here? We have a lot coming up. We are working on promoting classes from all over the region so that you guys have a heads up as to what's coming your way. All right, well, moving along here, I wanted to point out a new feature. Again, our new website continues to grow. There is an option to get class notifications. So if you, like me, would like a heads up when there's something like an augmented reality class coming, you can sign up for class notifications. So I went online and signed up, and this screenshot you see to the left is the email that I received this morning to let me know that there are 4 new classes that were just added. Jacqueline, would you be interested in sharing this live? And if not, that's okay. I can just present it myself here too.
Sure.
Okay. All right, Jacqueline, I'm going to make you a presenter.
And I will share my screen.
All right. Presenter rights are coming your way.
Well, thanks, Liz. Going to take a second before the screen pops up.
Yeah, there is a delay on that. So when you see us, when you hear us go silent, we're waiting for our computers to catch up.
Are we there?
Not quite yet. Do you know any good jokes?
No.
It's up now.
All right, great. Thank you so much. There were a couple of things that I wanted to highlight because, as you know, the whole National Network of Libraries of Medicine developed a whole new website as of December of last year. And now, after they got the groundwork done, we're working on a number of enhancements. As Darlene mentioned earlier, if you go to the GMR homepage, you see this little block here, which highlights the Underserved Health Communities project. And as we move forward, just in case you can't find it on the front page, one of those, take a look at the funding drop-down box, and here we have the Underserved Health Communities project, and The reason that we put up here, because this is what we find it as a resource that could be potentially useful for you in developing partnerships and receiving funding. So once you come to the GMR homepage and you log in, you're going to see down on the bottom, as Liz showed in her image, your profile. So once you log in, you can see down here, you can view your profile. You can edit it, and that's one of the things that you can do in terms of your NNLM Drupal user account. You can change your role from, say, for example, if you were listed as a health sciences librarian, but now you're the director and you wanted to add that, you can do that there. But the main thing that we're talking about today is this class notifications that comes out, and this is how you make your settings. There is a master switch that needs to be enabled, and when you click the box, it will let you receive those kinds of notifications that Liz mentioned. You can go into depth here. You can enable more to be notified of new content for that particular class, or you can disable that and just go back to the other classes down here, and you can have a little bit of information just providing only the title, or you can put a whole lot of information in here if you want to go in with the details. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, and if you don't have an account, one of the ways of getting one is to go to the GMR homepage, take a look at the quick links, and here you have the instructions on how to create an NNLM Drupal user account.
And just a note, guys, Jacqueline gets to see every new account created because we go in and we approve those accounts to ensure that we don't have bots creating accounts for our website. So when you go ahead and create that account, you're going to get a confirmation email back from Jacqueline. So it isn't automatically created. And I know this has caused some frustration because some folks are like, hey, I want to create this account and then I want to register for a class right now. And because it's not an automatic system, I mean, give Jacqueline a break. It takes her a day or so to get everything approved. So we will approve it, and then you get a confirmation from us, and you're good to go.
Thanks.
All right, we're transferring rights again, guys.
I have to pull up your account here, Liz. Sorry for the delay, and there you have it.
All right, so we are transferring this back. And I'm just waiting for my computer to get caught up. And it always makes this ominous blank screen. It gives me this moment of, oh, my computer crashed, but it did not. All right, guys, I'm just going to move along here. And again, yeah, this window on the left here, this is the email I received this morning letting me know that there are new courses available. When Jacqueline showed us the demonstration just then, I learned a few things too. I didn't know what the enabled and disabled meant on both of those, so I just enabled everything. So I've been getting a lot of notifications. Not a lot, just a couple. All right, so I just want to move on here. As you guys know, again, we've been updating everyone on our new funding opportunities. So just a heads up, these are available on our website. We're going to begin to take applications April 1st. No fooling, as Bobby says. That is April Fool's Day. We will have the applications loaded onto the site at that point. Now, our applications look a lot like they did last year. We did get a lot of feedback about formatting in the old forms, so we've made some changes to make it easier for you. But in general, the content is very similar to what you experienced last year. We looked at our forms then. We are excited about receiving applications from everyone. As I mentioned, you have not one but two opportunities to attend our classes on our awards. We'll go through each in depth, and we'll answer questions at those broadcasts, so please sign up. We've also been working on developing our outreach toolkit a little further to answer questions. We have added some pages on finances, making changes to projects once they've been approved, and reporting. So if you have questions about terminology, such as what a period of performance is, we have definitions for those available there to help you out. And again, if you have any questions about our awards, you can contact the GMR office at any time. Related to that, if you have some ideas for potential projects and you're not sure which one might be a best fit for an award, feel free to contact us. Or if you're interested in doing something and you just don't have any ideas, you can always contact me. I've got plenty of ideas to share. So take a moment to look at our award opportunities, and please do attend our class, one of our two classes this week. If you missed both, we will have the recording, which will be sent out on the GMR listserv. I'm just going to pause for a moment here and see if we have any questions from anyone on the line about our awards or the classes available. And again, feel free to unmute yourself, or you can type a question into the chat box if you prefer. All right, I'm not receiving anything now, but I know you guys are all cooking up some really good ideas to partner with us for outreach and education. So fantastic. All right, I wanted to share some information about our sponsored, oh, I got one question in the chat box. So Chris says that he's not seeing the March 24th Funding Opportunities webinar on our site. Hey, this is a great opportunity for me to show you guys how to sign up for this. So let's take a look here. So you should be seeing my screen, and this is your favorite website. You've got a bookmark. It's probably your homepage, of which I approve. Let me just go to the GMR region here. And under Professional Development, there's two ways to get there. You can take a look at class descriptions. And in here, this class is called GMR Funding. Yeah, we were really creative. And if you click on that, you're going to see both class instances on the right here. So this is the one I'm teaching on Tuesday. Love to see you there. And down here, this is the class that Derek will be teaching on Friday. So you can register for either or both. Why not? But again, if you're not able to make it, no worries. We will have that recording available. All right, folks, we are sponsoring the MLA webinar. This is called Finding Gray Lit for Systematic Reviews. It's coming up this week already at 1 o'clock Central Time, 2 o'clock Eastern Time. I'm going to give you a little description. This webinar provides participants with a framework for gray literature decision making and tips for managing the search process so they can deliver black and white, clear and credible results. This is going to be taught by Barb Full. She is a public health informationist at the University of Pittsburgh Health Sciences Library System. She has over 20 years of experience in academic and corporate libraries and has experienced the changes that systematic reviews have brought to health sciences libraries during that time. And this is a picture of Barb here. We have sponsored this webinar at all of the sites that you see listed. I'll be sending another email about this. If you are a member that lives anywhere near these regions and you want to attend, these are open for you to attend. You can actually drive to, for example, the University of Iowa here at Hardin Library and attend this live broadcast. So if you are interested and you're near one of these facilities and you're not sure how to contact the organizers, let the GMR know and we'll help you make that connection. There are some changes coming to webinars. So you may have heard that the Medical Library Association is changing their learning management system. And with that, there will be some changes to the webinar registrations as well. And I will do everything I can to keep you guys in the loop about that. I just wanted to put in a plug to follow us. Right here, you'll see one of our Facebook posts, and you'll also see one of our Twitter posts. You can follow us on social media. You can also subscribe to our listserv. Now, if you are missing information, you feel like you're not getting a full scoop, we do have a communication page on our website. I'm going to show you guys where that is right now. Again, let's get to our favorite website. And you'll see under About, we have a communication page. This is what it looks like. It starts with some information about getting subscribed to our listserv. And we have information about Facebook, Twitter, and what you're attending right now, which is our GMR update. Here's the Pose Your Question link, so you can leave us a question in advance, and we will address it at the update. And finally, if you want to see us in person, here is where our GMR personnel are going to be over the next month or so. So if you live in the Madison area, I'll be presenting there at the Wisconsin Health Literacy Summit in early April. I'll be visiting with some health sciences libraries in the area. If you are a member and interested in having me stop by and say hi, just let me know. I'll be there for a couple days. Derek, our coordinator, is going to be attending the Iowa Governors Conference and exhibiting there in Des Moines. Darlene is going to be out in Kentucky in Owensboro at the Public Health Association annual meeting, where she will be presenting on community health mapping. In mid-April, Bobby's heading up to North Dakota to their state library spring meeting near Bismarck. And at the end of April, Derek is again heading north to the Minnesota Public Health Association annual conference. So we will be trying to visit member organizations when we're in these areas. And you may have us reach out to you and say, hey, I'm going to be around. Can I stop by? We'd love to hear from you. I have some time here at the end for questions. And I just want to let you guys know our next update in April is going to feature one of our awardees, Mary Beth Riedner. She was funded to attend the annual conference of the American Society on Aging through the GMR. She's also the chair of the Alzheimer's and Related Interest Group, IGARD, of the Association of Specialized and Cooperative Library Agencies, Division of ALA. And she's going to share with us what she learned and how she used it in her role there. Are there any questions from our participants on the line? Again, don't be shy, guys. You can unmute yourself, or you're welcome to post things in our chat box. Yes, and Chris reminded me that Jacqueline will be at the Indiana Health Sciences Library Association. And Jacqueline, do you want to share a little bit about the course you'll be presenting there?
Sure. Thanks a lot, Liz. This is going to be next month, and it's going to be held in Michigan City, Indiana, not too far from here, on April 20th, 2017, and then I'll also be giving the GMR update on the 21st. The class that I'm teaching is a 4-hour continuing education class certified by MLA for 4 credit hours, and it's entitled, it's a long title, I'm going to have to look it up. Hold on. It's about serving the LGBTQ community with health information resources. That's essentially it. And,
oh, yeah, it's improving the health, safety, and well-being of LGBT populations. Sorry to put you on the spot there, Jacqueline. So.
Oh, no, that's okay, because actually we had changed it. Originally it was designed for an MLA annual conference, and then we edited it down for using as a 1-hour webinar as well as for a 4-hour in-person class. So
great. And I want to share, to those of you who are members of a health sciences library organization, beginning in year 2 here, either Linda or myself will be attending to do a GMR update at that meeting or annual conference. We will be consolidating our in-person workshops and training to the Midwest Chapter MLA. However, our Professional Development Award does allow for bringing in a speaker or an instructor to your annual conference or meeting to share information or train your health information professionals. So I want to share that. We're planning a lot of programming at the Midwest chapter meeting in October. So that's something to look forward to. If you're thinking about attending, I want to encourage you to because we will be there. Are there any other questions from our participants? All right. Well, I want to thank you all for attending today. Our next GMR update is going to be on Monday, April 17th, 2 p.m. our time, 3 p.m. perhaps your time if you're in the East. And we will be featuring one of our awardees and sharing more information. And again, I want to thank you guys all and encourage you to attend our upcoming award classes. I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm going to end our meeting and stop our recording. And I hope you all have a fantastic day. I feel like this is always the time when I find out those of you who are just muting the whole thing and continue to answer email, lingering on the line. Thank you for your help, Captioner. Is there anything we need to do to request that file from you for our YouTube video? Maybe not. That was a good demo, Darlene. I try to talk once in a while to give you a break. Well, I appreciate that. It's kind of exhausting to like keep going, you know? Yeah, kind of like. It is great.
No, are we gonna not put the applications up until April 3rd? I think it's worth on both days before next week they're ready. Someone saying, is there a form or something that you can use to apply? Oh, we don't use one representative. Well, like the day before, I think it's before they're off. What day is April 1st? That's a little bit. It's a Saturday. So I'm not about that. Okay. No. April Fool's Day. Like, you know what? Maybe we should come up right after. You know, like, hopefully we'll April Fool's. Like, this is Ellen. Oh, you just put your name in and you can pick names out of the hat inside. Roll. And then I also have for membership. Oh, yes. So you can tell them that we are on for every on go ahead. Okay, but you can also share with the filter, so this records going to sign off on all. So that was one cool up and okay. So it's not working right now, but soon. And I have another
That's appropriate. That's bizarre.
They're gonna call us and be like, I want to go to GMR, people, I can't figure out what to turn my computer on. You need to fix it. Well, I double checked, I got all of the information into this one, so that I can pull a registration. I'm going to ask this candidate. That's what my conversation now, I've never decided. You don't want to say, and so I did get a confirmation, but it was this kind of but then I sent out GMR Personnel. Do you have, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get a snack too. Oh. Days to go. I need carbs. I need some toast. You know, I'm trying to be crunchy, but yeah, it's kind of, it feels like it might be carbs if you don't taste anything.